YouTube. This is Vargas recording live from the Vargas Vault, sharing with you another collection pickup video. Now, I mentioned this before in a previous video, and I was talking about this with my very good friend in YouTube, Movie John, that I was thinking about taking a break from buying stuff because I've bought a lot of movies throughout the months, and some of them I haven't seen. So I was talking to him that I'm going to take a break from buying stuff until I catch up with, at least 50% of what I've actually bought throughout the months. But some things came across and I couldn't pass them up, so I'm recording a pickup video, which I hope you guys enjoy. So I don't want to make this too long, so let's get started. It's been months since I bought a video game, but I came across some. I bought this at a flea market, and this is for the PlayStation 1 WWE well, it's still called WWF Warzone, made by the now extinct Acclaim, featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin there on the cover. Now, I already have this one on the N64, but it's kind of rare for me to come across PlayStation 1 games, so even though I already had it, I was like, I got it super cheap. It cost me 10 pesos, so I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. It's in good condition. It has the manual, so hell yeah, I was going to buy a PlayStation 1 game for 10 pesos. Then I went to visit my parents, and on my way to see them, I passed by a pawn shop, and I got some games that I also wanted to share. First off, I picked up Imagine Teacher. This is made by Ubisoft for the Nintendo DS. And I was like, this is the kind of game I think my daughter will enjoy somewhere down the line. It's got mini games and it has some activities that you can do with the touchscreen. Plus, it might get her hook into the family business because my wife is a teacher. So I thought, well, maybe she'll like playing a virtual teacher and somewhere down the line become a teacher like her mom. Also, I picked up the Golden Compass. Of course, this is the video game adaptation of the movie from the same man. This is actually funny because it's an adaptation of a movie, which is an adaptation of a book. So it's like adaptationception. But of course, it's based on the movie. The movie didn't do so well. It's a book series, but the movie didn't do so well, so they didn't release the rest of the movies. But it might be good. Still haven't tested it out. Now this I bought just because it's been a while since I've seen games for this console, but I picked up some games for the PSP, and this is a Virtua Tennis 3, released for the PSP by Sega. This is Virtua Tennis. I'm not a huge tennis fan, at least not your traditional kind of tennis. I like the Mario Tennis games. Those are fun. But Virtua Tennis is pretty cool. I remember playing this. A friend of mine had a Dreamcast version, and I thought it was pretty cool. So, I've rarely come across a PSP game, so I was like, well, it's cheap, so why not? I'll buy it for sure. And then the other one I found, because I found two for the PSP, is Buzz Quiz Show. I know this came out for the PlayStation, and it had an accessory that you would click, but this one is for the PSP, so you just answer the questions on the keypads. So, it's for the PSP. I rarely come across games for the PSP. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick this up. And I did. Also, to add to my movie soundtracks, I picked up the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. The soundtrack isn't as memorable as the first Ghostbusters, but it still has some pretty cool tunes. And, of course I was going to pick this up. Ghostbusters is one of my favorite franchises, that and Back to the Future. So hell yeah, I was going to pick up the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. And also picked up this that I'm super psyched that I got it. This is the first printing of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas original motion picture soundtrack. I mentioned this before. The Nightmare Before Christmas is by far my favorite movie of all time. Because I love clay animation. I love the fact that it's on Halloween and in Christmas. I like the visual aspect of it. I love the music. I just love The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I loved it because loved it a lot longer since it became, like a fad that you see on Hot Topic. I've loved The Nightmare Before Christmas since it came out, and I have the Nightmare Before Christmas Revisited soundtrack, which is this, but with songs interpreted by Korn and Amy Lee from Evanescence. But I was missing the original one, and this is the original one. And this is the first printing of the original soundtrack because there's this one. This is the first one, to the best of my knowledge, as far as I can remember. This is the original one, and then there's one that has Jack in front of some gates, and that's the second print. The second printing of Nightmare Before Christmas. So super happy to get this. Actually, next year the movie is going to be 25 years old, and that is insane. Next, for my daughter, I picked up the Disney Princess Collection. This is basically just a CD with all the princess songs and some that aren't princess. You got Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, A Whole New World from Aladdin, Home from Beauty and the Beast, Just Around the River Bend from Pocahontas again, Something There from Beauty and the Beast, Someday My Prince Will Come from Snow White, So This Is Love from Cinderella, I'm Wishing One Song from Snow White, I Wonder from Sleeping Beauty, Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes from Cinderella, and Once Upon a Dream from Sleeping Beauty. So that's all the big, well, most of the big songs from the Disney movies. So that's exclusively for my daughter because she is starting to get into Disney princesses. Next, a couple of movies I picked up finally because I've been hunting for this movie for a good while from the Disney Vault collection, which is very appropriate because I'm recording from the Vault. From the Vault Disney collection, Old Yeller. And this is the 2-disc big box edition of Old Yeller. And I've been hunting for this movie for a long time, and I finally tracked it down and got it, and that is super awesome. This is a classic Disney movie with a very sad ending. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The ending to this is heart-wrenching, but it's a good movie. I really... I'm a dog person. I don't much care for cats. I've always been a dog person, and this movie... This one and Marley and Me, if you're a dog lover, will rip out your heart something fierce. Also, because I'm still trying to improve my Disney collection for my daughter, I found this, and this is the Pixar short film collection. It has a couple of, I guess they're like tech demos for Pixar when their animation was starting, and then when Toy Story actually released, they started releasing these little shorts. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 Pixar shorts. So this is pretty cool. So these Pixar shorts are really cool, and upon them in and of themselves, they win Oscars. So that should tell you the quality of it. I saw this promoted at Comic-Con. I got a frisbee with the Iron Sky, and the guy from the booth was explaining how this what this actually is. But I picked up finally a copy of Iron Sky. Without giving too much away, it's basically Nazis from the moon. The Nazis escaped from Germany, populated the moon, and then in modern times they send an astronaut to the moon, but he's a black astronaut, and the Nazis are like, what the fudge? So they start to invade Earth. It sounds really cool. I've never seen it, but it sounds like my type of movie. So yeah, because my type of movie in the sense that it's a low budget, and it's so outrageous. It might actually be pretty funny. Like Sharknado, the first Sharknado I thought was pretty cool, or stuff like Boa versus Python. It's my cup of tea. So this might be garbage, but it might be actually very entertaining garbage. Also picked up the director's cut of Brotherhood of the Wolf. I already have this movie. I bought it a couple of months ago, Brotherhood of the Wolf, but I'm always, I like buying different cuts of a movie because, in the theatrical cuts, I'm going to make a video of this someday, but You know, there is difference between the theatrical cuts and the director cuts and the unrated cut. So this is the director's cut, which adds a couple of more minutes to the supposedly 40 minutes of additional footage. So it should be a lot longer. I already own this one, but I only own the single disc edition. And if you know me, I love double dipping whenever I see a 2-disc. So this is the 2-disc limited edition of Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And I like this because I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's shiny. The slipcase is shiny. It looks kind of like metal. It has texture, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the single disc and just keep the 2-disc collection, because I have the 2-disc set for Pirates 1, Pirates 2, and I needed Pirates 3. Another one I've been hunting for a while and finally got. This is Wes Craven's The Serpent and the Rainbow. I'm trying to complete my Wes Craven collection, and I was missing this. And I remember seeing this, and I thought it was pretty creepy, because it's about voodoo zombies and voodoo in general. And the main character, played by Bill Pullman, actually gets turned into a voodoo zombie. So I thought that was pretty creepy, because it does kind of explain how they go about doing that. So this movie freaked me out when I was a kid, and I'm super happy to see this. And the last one I picked up is, this is actually sort of like a documentary, but it's really not, about Hitchcock. This is Hitchcock, interpreted by Anthony Hopkins, and it's about, obviously they must have taken some sort of artistic liberties, but it's about the filming of Psycho, and all the drama that went behind the scenes of that, you know. And I've already seen this movie, and I thought it was really good. I don't know how 100% faithful it is to Alfred Hitchcock, and you know everything that he went through, but I found this really interesting. Again, Psycho is one of Hitchcock's greatest movie. And Rear Window and Vertigo and North by Northwest. Alfred Hitchcock just pumped out a bunch of classics. Personally, those are my favorite ones, but it was really interesting to see this. Again, I don't know how faithful it is to the actual events, but I really liked it. I really liked. It's very interesting that it's a movie about making a movie, and that's always been very interesting to me. So this is pretty cool. Anthony Hopkins does a really good job, as I thought, as Hitchcock, and all the supporting cast was really good. So yeah, if you like Psycho and you like Hitchcock, I would recommend watching this, because I enjoyed it quite a bit. So yeah, that was the very short collection pickup video. I usually recommend the standout gem of the haul, and I'm gonna go with Old Yeller. But again, if you don't like bummer endings, you might want to keep away from this. I'm gonna put it like this: if you don't like Bambi, and you didn't like Marley and Me, you might not like this. But if you're a Disney aficionado like I am, and you like everything that Disney pumps out, especially older Disney, as far as their live action stuff, definitely give this one a look. It took me a while to get this one, so I don't know how easily available it is to own, but definitely recommend Old Yeller. So yeah, that was a pickup video. Like I said, I am gonna actively try to take a break from buying stuff. It's been 2 weeks since I've bought anything from the Facebook seller that I buy the DVDs from, or that I've gone to a flea market. So it's just that I encountered these, and I was like, I'm gonna buy Old Yeller, and I'm gonna buy Pixar for my daughter, and I'm gonna finally watch Iron Sky, because it looks so ridiculous, but at the same time it seems like it's my kind of movie. So yeah, I don't know how frequently you'll see pickups. The only other pickup video that might come down the pipe is a comic book. But as far as movies, I am trying to cut down, at least until I see, I'll say 30% of the stuff that I've bought before. And once I've actually started seeing some movies and I clear out some space, I'm going to start buying movies again. So yeah, I'm going to try to fill out the channel content with Profesor Macabro. I'm still waiting for him to make an appearance. He has some horror update. That's why I just went ahead and did Serpent and Rainbow myself, because he's been missing. I don't know where Macabro's gone, but he still has a pickup video to record, and of course reviews. And I might do something besides the pros and cons and the occasional, video showcase. So we'll see. We'll see what comes down. But Movie John also suggested I do some out and abouts and some vlogs. So I might do that. I'll see what else I can do to pump out the channel. By the way, thanks to Movie John for giving me a shout out. He did a video of his favorite YouTubers, and he mentioned me. So thanks so much for that, bro. So yeah. You'll see me do some new stuff. Hopefully, the thing is, I need to get time to actually do it, because I have all these ideas that I want to actually produce, but time is my biggest enemy. But we'll see what I pump out with. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and until I see you all again, this was Vargas signing off from the Vargas Vault. Thanking you all, and goodbye.